The first day was incredibly scary. I remember coming home with her and thinking, oh my God, it's just us two now. And it being a wonderful day, but incredible, bizarre emotions of just wanting to sob the entire day because it was real.
It's daunting. You're sort of swept along with it and the adrenaline keeps you going. Just think, is he happy? Are we doing the right thing? Has he got enough toys? Are we doing this right? Is it going at the right pace? I think when you see positive glimpses then, like when they come to you for comfort, I remember him falling, and when the social worker was here, he fell on the floor. He slipped on a floor that had been mopped, and he just came to me to like comfort him. And that's then, you've got to take the positive from that shows that they trust you.
It was scary.
I think first week when we had to actually take her home just by ourselves really, because I think it was only a third day when we had a full day, so it was really, really quick. I was scared to death. Because she was so small, you think that she's almost going to break, and am I actually going to do everything right? It was really scary, and you still couldn't quite believe that she's actually come home with you.
Well, the first couple of days was just joyous. Every morning you'd sort of wake up excited, scared as well. But what I did find is sort of going to bed at night, you couldn't go to sleep because you think, is he breathing? And then in the morning he was like, it's really quiet.
Yeah. Sometimes you think, kids are noisy. Well, at least you can hear them; they're okay. But he was so quiet. We had to put a video monitor in his room. You could zoom in and you could actually see him breathing. So you knew he was okay.
Part of the process is within the first few weeks you meet up with the foster family. We went for a walk in the park and they went to play football. A high for me was that he wanted to come home with us.
Yeah, after a couple of hours he said, let's go to the car. So he hugged and kissed his foster family, and then we jumped in the car and left.
Yeah.
And he was fine, and that's what struck a nerve then.
Yeah, I thought we must have done something right for
Yeah.
that to happen in such a short space of time, because he obviously knew that, maybe it was the transition work, and maybe it was the work that Vicky did, and we all did through the transition, but
he knew that this was his forever home.
Being called mum, obviously, or mummy, was just amazing and incredible. Seeing her walk confidently around, walking up the stairs, every little milestone that she's met is just incredible.
The highs you get is when he smiles at you, the way he looks at you.
A child's giggle, a child's laugh, and his laughs.
He's got the most wicked giggle, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's. And I tell you what, about 6 months ago, I was out in the lean-to, and he came. I was tying my shoelaces up, and he came and he puts his arms around my neck and he says, "Thank you, Daddy."
It's the best thing that we've ever done.
If you can do it, do it. It's a big decision to make, obviously, because it's a life-changing decision, but it's changed our life for the better, massively.
If anyone's thinking about adopting, particularly if someone's thinking about adopting on their own, to look into it. I think that there are stigmas around, and people think that they can't because they're too old, they're too young, they're whatever else. But it is absolutely the best thing I've ever done.
If you're thinking about it, give it a go. I think that's the best thing. So if you find it's not for you,
look into it.
You don't have to go ahead with it if you don't want to, but make the first inquiry.
I'd say go for it. If you're thinking of becoming an adopter, just go for it, because you never know how your life can change. You can go from being without children 1 minute, and then a couple of years down the line you've got this instant family that you never would have had without adoption. So I would say it's fine to have doubts, but don't let the doubts stop you from taking the first step and ringing the agency and just saying you're interested in adoption, and they'll guide you through everything.
100%.
Just don't think about it, just do it.
I would tell anybody to go for it. Be clear on what they want. be clear that this is what path you really want to go down. But it's not something you can mess about with at the end of the day. You're going to really want it. But definitely, it's been the best experience in the world for us.
Absolutely.
As much as my path has been quite difficult getting to here, I think the path has been because this is what I was meant to be with my little one.
The more we looked into adoption, or read up on it, the more we wanted to do it, the more engrossed we were.
Yeah.
So we knew adoption was the right route for us to go down. And looking back now, yeah, it was the best thing that we've done.
I mean, our house will never be the same again, to be honest. We're constantly tidying up and cleaning, but you know, that's life, isn't it? That's life with children. Just have to accept that.
Oh, if we went back in time, we wouldn't have bothered with IVF.
No.
We would have gone straight to adoption.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I think maybe people perceive adoption as, oh, it's not really my child. He couldn't be more our child.
No,
He
absolutely.
really couldn't be more our child. He's just amazing.
Now I'm filling up. He is amazing.
Oh, he's
Absolutely amazing.
brilliant.